Okay. So TestNG listeners, where is that topic? So what we understood TestNG listeners. So whenever, so in the TestNG listeners, so we are going to discuss about this topic. Okay. So suppose in your, you are executing your test cases. You are executing your test cases. So there is TC01 add jobs is there. There is TC01 add locations is there. Okay. And you have written so many TestNG classes and you are executing your testng.xml. So these testng set of test cases are executing, and one test case it might be passed on, one test case it will be failed, and you want to know and you want to write some custom message automatically. So in your emailable report. So once you execute testng.xml, the emailable report it will be generated. So here in your emailable report, you want to know the name of the test case failed is, the name of the test case passed is. You want to write your own custom message. So if you want, so it want to generate automatically. So by default this message it is not, it won't come. So how this is reporter.log message it is coming in your emailable report. So that means whenever your testng class is executing, the execution progress status, the log messages, it was coming automatically because of this listener test. So this package contains, this is the listener test.java. So in lab number day 34 and day 34, see this is the package which contains listener test. So what it is doing, this listener test, it contains some list of methods on start, on finish, on test failed, and on test skipped, and on test failure. So whatever log message that you are writing, so the execution progress, it will be automatically tracked in your emailable report. So that means by using these listeners, by using these listeners, you can able to write your own custom messages and you can able to customize the emailable report. So that is the point we need to understand. Okay. So that is the background about listeners. So in the listeners, so you have implemented itest listener. So itest listener contains, these are the methods. So these are the methods, whatever you are writing that code, it will so whatever you are writing reporter.log and whatever you are writing that code, it will come automatically. See this reporter.log statement, it is coming automatically in your test case, whether the test case has been passed or failed. So corresponding log messages, detailed messages, it will be generated here. So simply listeners will be used to track or to monitor, to execute the execution progress in background. So the popular test engine listeners are maximum in real time people will use itest listener. So like itest listener, there are so many other itest listener, other listeners also available. These all listeners will monitor the execution progress and it will be used to customize the test engine reports. Okay. But actually we won't use these topics, we won't use these topics much, but so that is the background. So how this listener test has been implemented, so that is the topic I explained in in this lab. So just I have created public class listener test and implements itest listener. So all these methods came automatically and we have written our custom log message. So whenever your testng.xml is executing the test cases, so the execution progress status, passed or failed, whatever log message that you have written in your listener test, that will be updated automatically. Okay. So that's it about test engine listeners. Okay. One second. So today I'm going to tell you about lab number 44. Okay. So very important topic. This topic is related to some core Java topics is required. So let's understand this topic. So this is the class, public class name I have written single value class name I have given. And in the main test, I have given some method name. Okay. And for the current class, I have created an object. I have created an object and I'm writing a method h1 dot object dot add strings follow. So add strings is a method. It has been implemented in the current class. So let's click on the add strings. So I'm pressing control button and I'm clicking on add strings. So this is the method, it has been implemented. Okay, so this is the test5 method has been started here, and it was completed in line number 56. So this test5 class can contains what are this return, this class contains several methods. Okay, add strings, I'm clicking on add strings. So I'm clicking on add strings. String str is equal to, so what is the value it is coming from the main program? So add strings method, this value is passing automatically to here. So that hello world, so the str contains hello plus world, hello world. So it will be, so in this str1, what is the value it is storing? Hello world will be stored. Okay, and I want to return this str1 to the main program. So I have return str1. Okay, so generally what we will do, public void we will write. What does that mean? So if not, suppose if you are not returning any value from the method, then we will write void method. But if you want to return some value from a method, you need to write return statement, and whatever value that you want in your main program, you have to write like this. And the system is showing some error. Just keep the mouse over here, change method return type to string. So it was changed to string because str1 value is a string. So instead of void, we have supposed to write string. So from this method, a string value it is returning. So str1 value it is returning. So that means this str1 value, it will come and it will store into this one. So system.out.println updated string value is hello world will be printed. So anybody has any doubts here? Okay, let me repeat. There is a method, add strings is a method. Okay, there is a add strings method is there. So I'm pressing control button and I'm going to here. Okay, so what is the value it is coming to this str? Hello is coming. So and str value I'm using hello plus world. Hello world, it will be stored into this one. And from this method, I want to return this value. So return str1 I have written. So whenever you are returning, so you should not supposed to write void. You suppose if I will write like this, the system will show you something. So change method return type to string, because the str1 value of the declaration of type string. So that this str1 value you can get it in your main program. So after that I am printing. So from this concept, what we understood, how to return a value from a method. So that's what we understood. Okay, and hello world will be printed. Okay, let's come back to the second program. I have written, so the object name is h1, object dot method name. So this is also one more non-static method. So 30,000 comma 400. So these are integer values. Okay, so I'm clicking on this method, add method. So I have written one more method in bottom, public add integer a comma b. So in a value which contains 30,000 and b value which contains 400. So 30,000 plus 400, 30,400 value, it will be stored into this variable. And I want this d value into my main program. So simply I'm writing return d. So what is the method name? Generally we are writing public void. So I want this resulted value to my main program. So the system is showing change method return type to integer, because this d value is a declaration of type int. So from this method, add method, some integer value it is returning. So what is the value? The sum of a and b value I'm returning. So that means integer dd1 value, what is the value it will be stored? 30,400 value it will be stored. So sum of a and b, 30,400. So the resulted value, it is coming and storing into this variable. Okay, so just go to the let me explain one more time. So there is a method, add method I have implemented in bottom, public integer add integer a comma integer b. So 30,000 value it is coming and 400 value it is coming, and I'm calculating the sum of these two values and I'm storing into my variable. And finally I'm writing return d. Okay. So this value, it is returning back to my main program. So that D value, it is storing into this one, just like max only. So how you will write A is equal to B, B is equal to C, like that only. So from this method, some value it is returning. What is that value? D. So the return type value is D. So I'm storing that A comma B value into D, and I have written from in this method return D. So that D value, it is storing into this value. So sum of A and B value will be printed as 30,400. Okay. So first let me run the program before explaining next things. Okay. Updated string value is hello world. Okay, what is the first so let's go to, so here hello value, it is passing hello value, it is passing string str. Okay, and hello world it is written. So updated string value is hello world. So I am able to return some string value from a method. So the output value, it is storing into str2 and I'm printing. So that is the value it's printed. So whatever I have written in the double quotation, that value it is coming. Updated string value is that str2 value, it is coming hello world. Similarly, 30,400, these values it is passing, and D value it is written, and sum of A B. Sum of A and B is 30,400. So sum of A comma B value it is printing. Okay. So in the method also I have printed one more time sum of A and B. So this value also it is printing here, and the same thing I have written 2 times. That's why it is printing. So DD1 value 30,400. So this value it is coming. Okay. And after that, whatever I have written, that log statement is printing. Okay. So now let's go back to the next concept. I want to know the multiplication of two numbers, 50 comma 40. So what I have to write in the method level, integer or string? Integer. So let's go back to here, integer A comma B. So 50,400. So 50,400, that value it is storing here, and I'm returning back. So multiplication of A and B value, it will be returned to my main program. So integer E is equal to multiplication of A and B is, so that value it is returning. Similarly, subtraction 50 comma 60, subtraction of A and B. So go to here, integer A, F is equal to A minus B, return F. So that F value it is returning back. Okay, and subtraction of A and B value it is printing. And division 20 comma 20. So this is integer value. So I'm clicking here, integer 20 comma 10, 20 by 10. So F value will be 2, and this value I want, the resulted value I want to my main program. So what I am doing, so the main program, in the main program, F is equal to the division of 2 value it is coming. So whatever value that is returning from this method, it is storing into my integer variable. So whatever value that is returning, so that is the value. I'm creating one more new variable and I'm getting into my main program. If the method is returning string, I'm writing string str2. If the method is returning integer, I'm writing integer value. So like that, from a method, we can able to return the values like this, return the single value. Okay, anybody is having any doubts here? Huh? H1 is an object for this class. How we will call non-static methods? We will create the object and object dot add strings. So this is the value. So if you want to return that, if you want to get that value in the method level, we have to write parameter. Okay. So this class, how many methods it contains? Add strings method, add method, multiplication method, subtract method, and division method. See, all these methods I have implemented. Instead of void, I have written public integer, and public string. So here I want to return string value. So public string. So the value will be returned to your main program. Suppose if you will write void, nothing will be returned to your main program. Even if you are writing is equal to, so it will show you error. Okay. If nothing is returning to the main program, then we will write generally void. But the resulted value, if you want to come back to your main program, so you have to write the declaration of type this one. Whatever value that you are returning, that declaration thing you need to write here at the method level instead of void. Is everyone clear? Anybody having any doubts before moving to the next program?
Sir, concatenation అని ఎక్కడ యూజ్ చేస్తాం సార్?
ఇదా
సార్ కంకాటినేషన్ అంటే 2 స్ట్రింగ్స్ ని యాడ్ చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేస్తామని చెప్పి ఎక్కడ విన్నా సార్ కంకాటినేషన్.
అంటే నీకు ఎప్పుడైనా ఏదైనా లాజిక్ వచ్చింది అనుకో, సో హౌ టు కన్కాటినేట్ ఆఫ్ 2 స్ట్రింగ్స్ అని గూగుల్లో కొట్టామనుకో, జనరల్ గా ఈ లాజిక్స్ అన్ని ఉంటాయి గూగుల్లో. హౌ టు కన్కాటినేషన్ ఆఫ్ 2 స్ట్రింగ్స్, హౌ టు కన్కాటినేషన్ ఆఫ్ 3 స్ట్రింగ్స్ అని గూగుల్లో కొడితే మీకు సొల్యూషన్స్ ఎలా రాయాలి, ఈ లైన్స్ ఆఫ్ కోడ్ ఎలా రాయాలి అనేది మీకు వచ్చేస్తుంది. సో నేను ఒకసారి చూపిస్తాను చూడు. How to concatenate 2 strings in Java. సో ఏదైనా కొట్టండి, మీరు ఏదో వెబ్సైట్లోకి వెళ్తే మీకు అర్థమైపోతుంది. ఇప్పుడు S is equal to సచిన్ అండ్ టెండూల్కర్ అన్నాడు. సో system.out.println, ఓకేనా? అవునండి, ఇక్కడ చూడండి 50 + 30 80. సో స్ట్రింగ్స్ మీద మీరు ఇలా చేస్తే ఇలా వస్తుందంట, 8 సచిన్ 40. సో దీని తర్వాత కనుక మీరు అటాచ్ చేస్తే, స్ట్రింగ్ తర్వాత అటాచ్ చేస్తే ఇట్లా వస్తుందంట. అదే స్ట్రింగ్ ముందే మీరు ఇలా అడిషన్ చేస్తే ఇలా వస్తుందంట. అర్థమైందా? సో నాకు కూడా ఈ మైన్యూట్ డిఫరెన్స్ తెలియదు, చూస్తేనే తెలుస్తుంది ఇవన్నీ, ఓకేనా? సో మీకు ఆ సినారియో వచ్చినప్పుడు, సో whenever that scenario will come, you have to search in the logics in the Google, and particularly string operations వచ్చినప్పుడు మీరు ఒక 5-10 minutes గూగుల్లో సెర్చ్ చేస్తే మీకు గ్యారంటీగా సొల్యూషన్స్ వచ్చేస్తాయి. హౌ టు కన్కాటినేషన్ ఆఫ్ 2 స్ట్రింగ్స్ అనే ఇవన్నీ, ఓకేనా? 4-5 వెబ్సైట్లో చూసారంటే సెకండ్ వెబ్సైట్లోనే మీకు దొరికేస్తుంది ఆన్సర్. సో టోటల్లీ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్, సో నాకు ఇంకో కాన్సెప్ట్ వచ్చింది. సపోజ్ ఐ వాంట్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ 3 numbers, ఓకే? సపోజ్ సింపుల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ అనేది, నాకు సింపుల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ కనుక్కోవాలి నా ప్రోగ్రాంలో, నాకు ఒక ప్రోగ్రాంలో సింపుల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ కనుక్కోవాల్సిన సిచ్యువేషన్ వచ్చింది. SI ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు PTR/100 కదా. సో 10,000 2 years, రేట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ 10%. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ నేను ఒక మెథడ్ రాయాల్సి వచ్చింది నాకు, సింపుల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్. సో ఇక్కడ ఏమని చెప్తుంది ఇది, క్రియేట్ ఏ మెథడ్. సో నేను ఇక్కడ సింపుల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ అని ఒక మెథడ్ రాశాను, వాల్యూస్ ఇచ్చాను. అంటే ఇక్కడ దీని మీద మౌస్ ఓవర్ చేస్తున్నాను. క్రియేట్ ఏ మెథడ్ సింపుల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ విత్ 3 integer వేరియబుల్స్ అంటాను. సో ఐఎమ్ క్లికింగ్ ఆన్ దిస్ వన్. See, at the bottom it has been created automatically. Public integer I, j, k. So return some I value. So I have to return I value. So I want to calculate a simple interest, SI. So this is local variable. Integer SI is equal to PTR I into T, J into R by 100. Okay, అంతే కదా, PTR by 100, by 100. So it will return SI. So this SI value, it will come to your program. Okay, so let's go back to here. Simple interest is SI. That's it. So if you will run the program, I can get the input value. So based on my input parameter values, I can get the simple interest. Okay, let me check. Simple interest is 200. Okay, so 10,000 into 2 into 10 by 100, so it is returning 2,000 simple interest. So like this, if there is any formulas or calculations that you want to get resulted value, suppose if it is 50,000 also, we can change it. So automatically these values will be passed. Suppose you have declared some global variables, and that global variables values, parameter values also you can give it here. Okay, so suppose p value, t value, r value, directly you can give the variables. So it will, so based on your input values, this method is executing. That's it. Okay, is everyone understood how to return the value, how to return a single value from a method? Is everyone clear? Anybody having any doubts still? Important topic.
సార్ దీంట్లో ఇప్పుడు ప్రైవేట్ క్రియేట్ అయింది కదా సార్ దీంట్లో మెథడ్
ఎక్కడ?
ఇప్పుడు
ఇదా?
సింపుల్
Okay, okay.
ఇంట్రెస్ట్
Okay, okay. By default private and create అయింది కదా. Okay, right, public. So what is mean by public and what is mean by private అనేది it's a big topic. Again, I need to tell separate topic. Okay, so general గా మీరు public అని రాయండి. ఓకేనా? సో ప్రైవేట్ అంటే ఏంటంటే దిస్ మెథడ్ కెన్ బి యాక్సెసిబుల్ విత్ ఇన్ దిస్ క్లాస్ ఓన్లీ. ఓకేనా? పబ్లిక్ అని రాశారంటే ఈ మెథడ్ కెన్ బి యాక్సెసిబుల్ విత్ ఇన్ దిస్ క్లాస్ ఓన్లీ. బట్ మీరు వేరే క్లాస్ లోకి వెళ్ళి ఇంపోర్ట్ ప్యాకేజ్ నేమ్ డాట్ క్లాస్ నేమ్ రాసి అక్కడ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ డాట్ మెథడ్ నేమ్ అన్నప్పుడు ఈ మెథడ్ యాక్సెస్ అవ్వదు, ఎందుకంటే దిస్ మెథడ్ యాజ్ డిక్లేర్డ్ యాజ్ ప్రైవేట్ అన్నమాట. ఓకేనా? విత్ ఇన్ ద సేమ్ క్లాస్ లో అయితే యూ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు యాక్సెస్ దిస్ మెథడ్. కానీ నువ్వు వేరే ప్యాకేజ్ క్రియేట్ చేసి ఈ క్లాస్ కి నువ్వు ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసి, అంటే ఈ క్లాస్ కి నువ్వు ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసి యు ఆర్ ట్రైయింగ్ టు యాక్సెస్ దిస్ మెథడ్, but during that time it won't be accessible because you have declared it private. Means this private methods can be accessible within that class only, but నీకు వేరే ప్యాకేజ్ లో కూడా కావాలి అనుకుంటే పబ్లిక్ అని రాయాలి. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే, బట్ ప్రైవేట్ ఎప్పుడైనా యూజ్ చేస్తాం సార్ నార్మల్ గా రియల్ టైమ్ లో?
ప్రైవేట్ గా అనేది చాలా తక్కువగా యూజ్ చేస్తాం. అంటే ఎప్పుడైనా ఈ మెథడ్ సెక్యూరిటీ డెవలపర్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తారు కోడింగ్ రాసేటప్పుడు. సో ఏదైనా అంటే వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్ డెవలప్మెంట్ వాళ్ళు ఈ మెథడ్ అవుట్ సైడ్ ద క్లాస్ యాక్సెస్ కాకూడదు అనుకున్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళు రాస్తారు. సో మనకైతే మాక్సిమం పబ్లిక్ మెథడ్సే రాస్తుంటాం.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకేనా? సో ఇంకా ఎవరికైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? సో హౌ టు రిటర్న్ ఏ సింగిల్ వాల్యూ, హోప్ ఎవ్రీవన్ ఈస్ క్లియర్. ఓకే, so now we understood how to return a single value from a method. Okay, but I want to return multiple values. I want to return multiple values from a method. Okay, so children, this is the class tc00 to return multiple values. This class can contain some methods, so I have implemented in bottom. Okay, so let's go to the first one. So if it is single value, what you are doing, you are writing like this, string str is equal to. If it is a single value, what you are doing, integer si is equal to. So that means in this variable, that single value resulted value it is storing. But if you want to get multiple values, okay, if you want to return multiple values, you have to write syntax like this. Okay, list of string li1 is equal to new array list of string. So this li1 contains some list of values, and see, this is the page one method. Okay, this is the page one method. It is returning and it is storing that list of values into this one li1. So how to get each and every value? li1 dot get of 0, li1 dot get of 1, li1 dot get of 2, li1 dot get of 3. So each and every value will be printed. Okay, it looks like single variable only, list of object only, but you can, by based on the index number, you can able to get each and every value. So like that, so this list, so this we can call it as a list of string objects. Suppose if you want to get single string variable, you will write like this, string string str is equal to, and whatever it is there. But if you are getting multiple string values from a method, so if you are getting multiple string values from a method, first you need to create a object like this, list object you have to create. So this is the, we can call it as a list object. So that list object, So page one method is returning some list of values. Okay, and after that li1 dot get of 0, and I'm printing. So so here I want to explain one more important point, how this page one is returning multiple values. Previously in our previous program, we understood it is returning a single value, but I want to return some list of values, okay, from this method. So this list object is getting multiple object information. So in page one method, how the values are multiple values are returning. Okay. So public page one. So here actually what I supposed to write, public void page one I have supposed to write. So what I told, list of string page list is equal to, so this is the list object I have created in this method. And in this list, so this list object, it contains some set of values as this one. Some set of values as this one. So page list one dot add, page list one dot add, page list one dot add, like this. It contains some set of values. So I'm storing into a group of object information into this list object. And finally, I want to return this page list. So here it is showing change method return type to list of string. So because this page list is a declaration of type list of string. So that page list, so from this page one method, a list of values which is returning back to your main program. Okay, so let's go back to your, so here my list of, so how to add a list of values into one? By using add method, we can add list of values within the double quotation. Okay, because this is a string object. So if it is a string object, we need to write within the double quotation. So like that, I'm returning this page list object. So from this method, we understood a list of string values, it is returning back to your main program. So there also you need to fetch all those list object information. So this phrase one method is returning some list of string of objects. So to capture those all the list of values, first of all, I have created like this li1, and li1 is equal to, so this page one, it is returning. So this means this is the meaning. So page list object, it is storing into this one. So li1 dot get of 0, li1 dot get of 1, get of 2, get of 3. So whatever values it is returning, it will be printed here. Okay, is everyone clear? Is everyone clear how the list of string? So how to get a list of objects? Generally, so far we know string str is equal to integer a is equal to how so previous program we have seen a method is returning single value, but if a method is returning multiple values, so I have created a list object, and in this list object I stored all the list objects information, and finally I'm returning return page list one. So whenever I'm writing page list one, so suppose I have to write public void, and it is showing error and change method return type to list of string, it will automatically suggest it. So because these are, it is page list one contains some list of values. So from this method, a list of values it is coming, and I'm storing into this one. So like that, we can able to return list of objects. Okay, here I want to tell one more important point. 1 second. Where is that? Right, page one. I'm creating the same duplicate object data. Indian 777 information I'm storing 2 times. Okay, let me run my program. See, element at data 0 is order 11, Indian 777, and in 777. So whatever the list object information that we have added, it is showing. Element, okay, what, not this one. Okay, so element at data 01. Okay, element at, okay, element at data 01, 1, 2, 3. So whatever information that I have stored, that I'm printing, everything it is printing here. Okay, so now let's go back to the previous one. There is one more, another way is also there to return some list of values. Okay, so very, very important. Set string has set is equal to, okay, I'm creating an object. So there will be, to hold list of values, there are 2 approaches. Either you can use list object or you can use set object. So if it is a set object, you need to write like this: set object has set 1 is equal to new has set of string. And this page 5 is returning set object information. Okay. So this page 5, go to page 5 method. So I am creating a set object. Okay. And I'm storing multiple object information into this set. So how many values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And finally, I'm returning. So actually what I supposed to write? Void. So change method to hash set. So set string. So some set of string values it is returning. So there also, if I want to get these values, there also on the top level, I have to write the same thing. So I have created a hash set object and I'm getting hash set information. Okay, page 5 information. So I want to get each and every value in the hash set. Okay, so you can print directly. All elements data is hash set I have written. Hash set dot get of 0, hash set dot get of 1, like that also you can write. So if you want to print all the information at a time, you can print it. Okay, let me go back to here. So if you see here, okay, all elements data. See, all elements data, the set contains set, example, geeks, and 4. So how many values it contains? All elements data. So here, this is the value it is printing. It contains 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let me go back to my page 5. So, but I have added, but the set. So if you are adding multiple times also for a set object, it will take only once. Okay, but whereas in list object, okay, whenever you are adding multiple object information, it will take second time also. Okay, so set cannot allow duplicated object data. List can allow duplicated object data. Okay, suppose if you are printing system.out.println of list, so it will print how many times you have inserted it will print same insertion order as well. But whereas set object, okay, it will maintains all the unique set. So in the max also, the meaning of set means it contains unique object only. So same approach, it contains the unique object information. Okay, so how many approaches that we can store in how many approaches are there to store group of values? Either we can use set object or we can use list object. Okay, system.out.println of li1, if you will print, it will print all the unique object information as well. System.out.println of hash set 1, if you will print, only it will maintain unique object information only. Okay, so that is the main difference. Sir, I have a requirement. Some people will come, sir, I have to return some list of string values. How I have to write I have to write a method and I have to return some list of values, string values. So you have to know this approach. Okay, sir, I have some group of integer values. How I have to? So instead of string, you need to write integer. Okay, so that from this hash set, it will return some group of integer values. So we have only 1 minute. If the session will close, you can rejoin. Okay, so how many approaches are there to return multiple values? This is one approach and this is one approach. Okay, so to get, after getting each and every web element, we are getting the object information like this. Okay, so if you want to print each and every value of a hash set, you can write like this: string